Welcome back, everybody, to more Overwatch League. We're almost done, but we are in the semifinals right now. So there are 3 more games to go. There's this one, there's the one after this, which is at 7:30 tonight probably, and then there's the grand finals tomorrow, which are in person, so come to that if you can. This match is going to be Spongejago versus the Plummers, facing off for control of, I believe, the lower part of the bracket. And yeah, we can see them starting off both on, or Plummers kind of on this E Sigma, E comp, and Copy opting to go for the Orisa, making a little bit of space there, trying to hold that. J-Sparks unfortunately goes down to Iris, who finds a good pick there that's going to... Wait, or he's back. Am I missing something? No. Iris got picked by... Okay, whatever. Anyways, forget I said any of that. That is going to give the Plumbers a little bit of space here, but neither team has made an effort to move to the point. I believe just because neither team has like the space to. If they move to the point, then they're just gonna attract all the fire. You can see Benki making that first effort here, but exactly what happens. Trash boat and everyone drops on window already onto point from Raccoon. Trying to help Trash boat with his quest to hold point. And still neither team has captured the point. J-Sparks goes for the Riptire, but gets taken down by team, unfortunately for him. And it's just going to be a few cleanup kills. Benki pulling out the hammer. Not gonna find anything with that, but that's okay. It's worth the effort, I think. Alright, yeah, that took a long time to capture the first point. Wow. But with that in mind, the Plumbers are going to have to force their way into point again. Trash Boat comes out with the Gravitic Flux, gets a few, but Copy with the Terra Surge and the Transcendence are going to force the back out. Molten Core comes out from Benki, and looking a little low there in the back line, but does get some healing. That's 3 ultimates used from the side of Spongejago, and it looks like they will win this fight off of it, although not by much. Ooh. Orbital Ray comes out from S2K9K. That is a very powerful ultimate, so they're going to try to make as much use of that as possible, and it looks like they're going to get a good amount of value. Bob comes out, but looks like they're going to be okay. S2K9K almost going down, but being a little bit ballsy here. Bob actually did make a good amount of space there, because the Juno was unable to push out. I put at 67 HP. Doesn't really want to move forward here. What's up with the grab? Very scrappy back and forth fight. I feel like neither team won that soundly. Unfortunate, but Trash Boat is going down there. Lamp goes down from J-Sparks, but I don't know how much Plumbers are going to be able to touch, especially without their Sigma. J-Sparks unfortunately misses the mine, and that's going to be the end of the first round. Yeah, I don't know. It took a long time for Spongejago to actually capture that first point, but once they did, they were able to hold it pretty soundly. There were a few moments that looked scary for them. I think that Bob actually did wonders, but definitely not to the realm where they're definitely going to be winning the next few months. I can see this going either way.
It saddens me that it is in danger.
5, 4, 3.
Alright, and we are going to be starting this off. Trash Boat has opted to swap onto Bizarria, probably to deal with Copy's Orisa. Is going to be my guess. Since Zarya has a lot of mitigation for Orisa's abilities. Benki onto the Reaper. A lot of different hero swaps here. I'm not going to list them all off because I don't trust myself to remember. Lunar Season going down to early poke from J-Sparks. Benki also having to back out, and J-Sparks... Oh, Trashbot's gonna find the kill, but... J-Sparks would have been the one to get it otherwise. That's going to be a fight win for Plumbers. That early pick did a lot for them. All of the members are going to get it alive. Copy, though, looks like is going to swap to... Reinhardt. Oh, yeah. I do like watching Reinhardt more than Arisa, so I respect this. I'm a fan. Pushing in here, making a lot of space. Has to back out though because his shield is almost broken. No one on the team ends up going down though, so that was communicated well enough for that. Another engagement from Copy. Looking to make space here and let the DPS poke things out. J-Sparks comes in with the Riptire and catches Lunar Season off guard. I don't know. There was a lamp online, but not enough time to react. Copy does end up getting about 2% of trade, but goes down, and the blade from Sacrifice I think is kind of going to be the end of this fight. Unless Benki can pull off a miracle, but yeah. Alright, Copy's switch onto Reinhardt has made his ultimate situation a little bit worse. Sacrifice getting really low in the front there. Doesn't use dash to get out though, feeling pretty comfortable in their supports. Yeah, Grav online, no shatter. So ultimate economy really does look to be in favor of the Plumbers at this moment. Grab comes out from Trash Boat onto the back line. That's a pretty good grab. I'm surprised. Oh, he had it. Okay, Trash Boat ended up dying. That's why it was Benki. What the hell? I wasn't even. Bro, I was too busy processing the area cleared. Oh my god. My ass was not on that. My bad. I was too busy trying to figure out what happened with that Grav. Forgot about the whole rest of the game. Anyways, it's going to be a fight win for... Okay, can we get this Caverick guy out of here? I don't know who let him in. I don't think we need any of that. Oh, Iris does go down to the Riptire. The Earthshatter comes out from Copy, trying to turn this fight around. Doesn't get any kills off of it, though, and unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. A little too late. Yeah, Lunar Season trying to escape the rest of his team. Looks like they're going to be able to do that. So no picks on the side of Spongejago. Copy on the Doomfist now, punching in to touch. Barely gets out alive. Trying to make some space for this Cassidy High Noon. The Cassidy does get trapped, still lives, surprisingly. Blade comes out from Sacrifice into the backline and does get one kill. Trashboat gets another kill, and it looks like this fight is going to be over soon. Yeah, and the ultimate usage for Spongejago is just a little bit better there, and they took the second point. Go Cal Poly, indeed. Man, I really hope Cal Poly wins this tournament. They've been trying so hard. They deserve it.
Who's ready to have some fun?
From imperfection, we build a new world.
Why would you live someplace with snow year-round?
Alright, third round starting, and this is going to be for this whole map. TP out of spawn for both teams, it looks like, is going to mean they both meet at the center at a roughly even time. Copy onto the Ramatra. This is another tank that has not been played this tournament. Drunkrat with another high value pack at the beginning, I think is going to make the difference here, because with the Baptiste down, Copy has no way to stay alive. Trashbot does go down at the end, but I don't know how much that will mean. I don't think... Well, Spongejago might be able to get back fast enough to make that matter. No, not really. Yeah, Trashboat has pin. and they get back almost immediately. Poppy opting to rotate through the bottom side, not wanting to deal with all of that spam from the Junkrat and the tiny little choke up there. Sacrifice with the opening kill onto the Baptiste again. That's going to be really difficult, especially with Copy so far in. I think this fight is just lost. Sacrifice does struggle a little bit here. Oh, Benki and Brooklyn T-Guy finding a couple of kills. And Iris finding another. Wow. Despite their Baptiste and tank being down, it looks like they're going to be able to pull this off. Some fan. Oh my god. It's beautiful. I love that. Iris, the right click menace. Who says right click secondary fire? Junkrat with the Riptire, J Sparks trying to find some value out of this. The lamp is going to come out, and that's going to force J Sparks to hold a little too long. Even with J Sparks out of commission, I think it looks like Plummers are going to take this. Not exactly sure what happened. I think probably just too focused on the Riptire and wasn't supporting the front line enough. It's going to be my guess there. Yeah. Spongejago going to try to be forcing themselves onto point here, going underneath. The orbital raid does come out. Sacrifice diving into it on Genji. A little bit of a bold maneuver and does pay for it. Lunar Season, though, goes down again. High Noon from Iris is going to be really high value. Going to force Baptiste to this corner here and get the Juno. That's going to be both supports down for the Plumbers. And with that, unless J Sparks with the total mayhem, or what the hell is that called? I don't remember what that's called. Last stand here by Sacrifice. Trying to get some value out of this. Does end up finding the Juno. Benki trades with the other Juno though. Does get low, and Sacrifice is going to need to be eliminated if they want to hold this point. Does get out though. It's going to be a pretty strong recontest opportunity from the Plumbers. Not that they need it, because they have the overtime. Sacrifice getting onto point to force the objective. Copy does have to pay attention to that. Jack Sparks with the Drip Tire, trying to find people, doesn't find anyone. Does end up getting the blast onto both Iris and Copy, assisted by Trash Boat's Earth Shatter. That is going to be the end of the fight and probably the end of the map. Yeah, Broken T Guy last to go down, and that's gonna be it. The Plumbers are going to take the first map.
Play of the game.
Alright, beautiful play of the game from the Junkrat. J Sparks. Yeah, first map. By the Plumbers, this is a best of 5, first 3, which means that Plumbers only need 2 more to win, and the Spongejago is going to have to win 3 themselves, so slight advantage for the Plumbers. Alright, well, they're figuring out the next map. I will... Oh, shoot, I didn't make a... Silly Jacob. Okay. We are gonna... You know what? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's look at the teams. No, we'll talk about the maps. Okay, so the way the map picks work is the first is always control, and I believe the lower seeded team gets to pick, or maybe the lower seeded team just gets to pick both. Whatever. Anyways, the next map is going to be fully determined by the losing team, which means they get to pick the game mode. The winning team gets to ban, and then... Well, they only get to ban if, you know, if there aren't 2 maps. in the pool, aka Clash, which, you know, and I believe Flashpoint has that rule too, just to make things a little bit fairer. And then the losing team picks the map. So what we see next would be completely up to them. If I had someone like Ethan on stream right now, they could be a little bit more accurate with their predictions. But I don't know all that stuff, so I'm not going to even try. All right, and we should be good to show this. Perfect. Okay. This is the bracket we are following. It is going to be for the lower bracket. So Spongejago won a match last week against the Blazing Bathers, and the Plumbers also won their match against the group of Overwatch nerds. And we are now seeing them face off in the semifinals. So that's what's going on right now. It is looking like a close game though, so we'll see. Later tonight, we're going to see Class 1A face off against Phantom Sharks. Class 1A, I believe, are kind of looking like the popular pick of this whole tournament, so make sure to watch that. Also, make sure to tune into the finals tomorrow to see whoever faces off against whoever else. But yeah, that's about it for me. Let's look at the teams. I can just keep talking, I guess. We'll do breaks later, but for now, we can do this. First team is going to be Spongejago. They do have 6 players, and this is a little bit interesting because they don't have both of them in at the same time. That obviously because it's a 5v5 game. So right now, in the previous, what was it in the previous? I think in the previous game, Lunar Season was, no, Tochi's was swapped out. And this game, this next one, I think Brooklyn Tea Guy will be. Forgive me if any of that's wrong. I'm a little uncertain of that. Copy is a D1 player, so I think a lot of game knowledge in that guy's head. So look out for that. And we can move on to the other team, which is going to be Plumbers. Trash Boat, Sacrifice, J Sparks, Drunkrat One Trick, and 2 supports. So those are the 2 teams we are seeing face off today as we head into the next map, which is going to be Havana. Yay! This map's pretty cool. Yeah, so that was what was decided. Again, if I had someone here who was smart, I could have them analyze this decision, but I'm sure it was thought through because Spongejago knows how to do that. So we will head into the match.
The barrier appears. Hey.
5, 4, 3.
All right, it's looking like probably poke from both teams with the Sigma Sacrifice. Can they find any opening picks? They're going to be looking to kind of swing this fight in their favor early on. Don't find the first kill, but looking for others.
But you cannot escape.
A little bit of a tough angle here. Not finding any opening picks, unfortunately, but they did get a lot of payload space here. Up to this first corner, which is kind of where the first engagement really happens, so we'll see what Plumbers can do here. Iris finds a pick onto the Widow. Let's go down now to the J Sparks. DPS trade from both teams. And Lamp goes down for the Plumbers side, and I think that's going to mean they don't really have enough sustain to continue this push. Yeah, Benki little bit overextending, it looks like. And they end up going down, which is going to give them back that space that they lost. Allow them to push the payload further. Probably trying to hold the pressure. And Spice moving a little bit slowly. There's just a lot of picks going on. Widow onto the Ashe. Not traded out this time, and that means that Plummer's going to be up one. Poppy is used onto the Junkrat. Doesn't find any real value though. Gets caught up pretty quickly and taken down before Riptire was able to be used. Lamp comes out from Lunar Season, which means that Trash Boat has an opportunity to Gravitic Flux here, but does get rocked out of it probably? I think so. Copy goes down to the double window that has suddenly appeared in the middle of the arena. Oh, Copy doesn't... My bad. Copy got the down. He did not go down. I completely called that wrong. Yeah, both windows went out into the middle of the field there, but it looked like Spongejago was able to take a little bit more control of it and burst down the other team. Let's go. Big win. Sack of Rice gets the pick on Tochi's. J-Sparks with that Riptire, looking for value, doesn't find any, unfortunately. Going down main does not bode well. Trashbook getting a little low here. Let's back out again. I wonder if they're going to use Juno ult to engage. Before that though, Gravitic Flux comes out from Copy, hiding behind this corner well. Does force Lamp out, but I don't think we're going to find any value. Trying to get the BAP, but BAP does escape and get out. And with Trash Boat cleaning up the rest of his team, Copy is going to follow. And that's going to be the first point. As long as this Bob dies, which it will. There we go. First point to the Plumbers. Alright.
No one hides from my sight.
Another early pick onto the BAP. Trying to stay up forward with the Sigma. But it's just so much damage and pressure from the Plumbers. Neither of them are going to be able... Oh, no. Sigma might be able to make it out alive. They might not, though. Who knows? Looking really rough for them right now. Thanky, though, with a crazy angle here, finds the pick onto J-Sparks, the Junkrat. That's going to be a lot of pressure off of the members of Spongejago. And then they're going to be fully reclaiming all the space. J-Sparks going down early into the fight. Again, the loss of damage there is going to be a lot. Although the Ashe goes down as well on Spongejago. And the Zen. And the Widow from Plummers. I think it's a 3v3 right now. Trash Boat goes in to try to catch Lunar Season to BAP off. Copy tries to do the same, but Raccoon doing a little bit of a better job staying with the team and ends up going down. Benki copies the BAP to fill that hole that was left. And I think at this point Copy's just going to be trying to get back to the rest of his team. Doesn't make it out with all that damage from J-Sparks. No real way to recover from that. Especially with the BAP still coming back from spawn, I believe. These fights have been really... I'm surprised the payload hasn't, like, moved further, I guess. The struggles of back use. Yeah, sometimes it feels like it should have moved further. J-Sparks with the tire. Oh my god. That's... Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not even sure where that happened, to be honest. Probably from off the bridge and just completely caught. Got Spongejago off guard. It was a large investment of ults, though, from the Plumbers side. They used Riptide, Orbital Ray, and Gravitic Flux, which are all high value. So they don't have anything going to the next two fates. Ultimate Economy definitely swings in favor of Spongejago here, which I'm going to assume they're going to try to make as much use of as they can, while they still have this pressure advantage. Alright, Bob's coming out from Iris. Iris does go down, but the Bob there to replace them. Gravitic Flux maybe from Copy soon. Lunar Season goes down though. They have a lot of ult advantage, but they're not able to use them because they keep dying. Copy following just because of the lack of presence up front. That's gonna be a lot of space loss. They're gonna hope to use these ultimates on the recap here, I think. Benki hiding a little bit. But by now, a lot of the Plumbers' ultimates are back online, so it's gonna be harder to kind of hold that advantage. This Nyata Transcendence to touch, and the Echo Copy comes out. They're gonna try not to use their ultimate, but they might have to. Gravitic Flux from Copy. If nothing else, just separating this tank out, and that is going to allow the Spongejago team to pretty soundly win this fight, which definitely gets them into overtime. So worth it on their part, but they are going to have to contest with Gravitic Flux, Orbital Ray, and Riptide going into this next fight, which is not going to be easy for them with just Window. Window comes out early, trying to find a little bit of value here. The crazy, oh my god! Copy! The pre-fire rock. Yes, trash. It's not gonna be enough, but that was pretty sick. I don't know. I'd say a Copy won that fight. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much what I expected. Plumbers were just able to like spam ults and win the fight. Yeah. Copy's rocks go crazy. Alright, side swap happening now that Plumbers has advanced the payload to the final checkpoint, although, to be noted, they did cap in overtime, which is good for Spongejago in the sense that it makes it easier for them to win. It's also bad for them because they did cap. Plumbers did cap, but, you know, that happens.
Safety first.
So they're going to have to cap here too if they would like to have a chance of winning. Opting for the Zarya composition here on an attack. Interesting.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
I'm moving up from the top. I don't know the last time I went out the top. Wait, can you? What? I don't know what happened. I'm so confused. Whatever. Is that new? Or am I just like... That must be new. I don't know. Copy already at 80% charge here. No bubbles though, so it's gonna have to wait back a little bit. Kind of avoid this damage. Using the payload to play off of as an infinite HP shield. It's using bubble in the front. They're not getting as much value as they'd like, and Sacrifice does find the pick onto Tochis, which is one of the supports from Spongejago down. 100% charge for Copy. This is where they can start to look to really try to push in. Becky trying to stay alive through all of this Junkrat and Sigma spam. Copy finding an angle behind the Sigma, and the Eat is not going to do anything against the Zarya. I'm going to guess that was the reason for the swap. And with that, that's a pretty solid win for Spongejago. Is Zarya... Okay, well, now it doesn't matter, because Crash Boats on Reinhardt. But yeah, with the Zarya, as long as you can close that distance, which Kabi was able to do pretty easily there. It's a lot of pressure onto the Sigma. But Trash Boat is now on Reinhardt. The Zarya into the Junkrat's also pretty powerful. As you can see here, they can kind of just catch the incoming mines with Bubble and maintain full charge here. Getting some poke damage off here with a lot of the team kind of just grouped up. Alright, Trash Boat dropping down very aggressively here. Doesn't make enough space for... Oh, Iris picks off Sacrifice, but J-Sparks trades Iris. I feel like we've seen that before. Benki looking to make a little bit of progress, but Lunar Season on really low health here. Uses window, but has to back out immediately. So Kabi able to make use of that at the beginning. J-Sparks with the Riptire looking to find value. Gets the lamp, but Sacrifice does find Benki. Tochis uses his Transcendence to sustain the team for a little bit longer. And it looks like Spongejago is going to be forced out off the point here. Sacrifice getting caught a little off guard when the entire enemy team pops up from around the corner, which means that Spongejago is going in with a 4-5 advantage. Or 5-4 advantage, whatever. Copy taking a higher ground approach here. I do like this. It gives them a really nice angle to work with on the top here. Uses Graviton Surge on the Baptiste. Lamp is forced out, but doesn't do anything because the whole team is looking at them, and with that target focus, I think they're going to be able to take this point. Bob used as well, which means they're down 2 ultimates that fight. And Plummers is looking scary with the Orbital Ray, Window, and Earth Shatter. They are going to try to touch here. Trash Boat gets first touch. They're going to go down, I believe? No, they're not. They do. But after they get off Earth Shatter, and the stun there is going to be enough for the Plumbers to take full advantage and win the team fight anyways. And Copy's going to have to get out here. They do have that bubble, and they will have another bubble here that they can use around this corner. Still a little bit close, but they're going to be able to find their way out. So no stagger for Groppy. But yeah, they had... Yeah, those ults really came in handy there. Because they were able to stop it before the checkpoint. I mean, Spongejago has further to push it. Copy taking this high ground again, looking for this kind of off angle onto the Reinhardt. Especially since Reinhardt can only shield in one direction. That's really powerful. Iris trying to find a pick on Juno, doesn't quite get it, and attracts the attention of the Genji, who is going to take them out. Sacrifice blading in the backline of Spongejago, and Transcendence comes out from Tochis, which stops a lot of them from dying, but it's a lot of pressure from Plumbers, and Spongejago's not going to be able to cope through all of it. Who is messaging me? Oh. Window comes out from Lunar Season, trying to make space around this corner for Spongejago, but it's kind of an awkward angle, and they're not really able to make good use of it. Sacrifice with the nice deflect, and the Riptire from J-Sparks is going to find 2 kills. And I think Poppy's just going to have to die here. Not making their way out, and yeah, Tochis goes down after that, and 45 seconds remain for Spongejago to find their footing and take this second point for once and for all.
Seconds remaining.
Alright, Blade coming out from Sacrifice, Earth Shatter as well from Trash Boat, and that's just going to be an ultimate sweep. There's absolutely nothing Spongejago can do there. Ultimate advantage. One thing I've noticed about the Plumbers is that they hold very consistent ultimates. I feel like they always have something to use and to kind of just sweep the fight with. They do a good job about that. Oh lord, there goes my crosshair. Yeah, Sacrifice. Here was that fight where Spongejago almost took control at that point. Didn't quite get there. That's going to be it for the second round. Completed in Plumbers' favor. Again, they're going to be up 2-0, which means that they only have to win one more to take this whole matchup. Which means that they will advance to the finals, but not yet. They still have to win one more map, and it is definitely possible for them to do that. What? Huh, I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna head to the waiting screen real quick. I will be back once the next match starts. It shouldn't be too long. I will see you guys all shortly. Don't leave. All right, we are back, and it looks like Paraíso is going to be the chosen map, hybrid game mode. This is going to be Spongejago's choice again. And we can head straight into the game in a little bit once it loads up. Yay, okay. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 2-0 favor of the Plumbers. Copy on another tank, Diva this time. Trash Boat also on another tank, Doomfist. Looks like both teams are taking a dive approach at this first point. That makes sense. You kind of have to go through this choke quickly if you want to do literally anything. That's what the Trash Boat's going to be looking to do. Doesn't get charge off of that first punch. Finds her way across. Copy, though, unable to save Iris, who is up on that high ground and gets caught up by Trash Boat. and that's going to allow Plummers to move in. Juno almost gets to go. So close. Coffee was so close to taking out the Juno there. Lunar Season and oh, did Lunar Season and Trash Boat kill each other? I think they did. That's funny. You don't see that very often. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty quick point capture for the Plumbers for this first point. Yeah, all of the CC onto Copy and the 360-degree spam. There's not much they can do. They are going to look to find the kill on the Ana to kind of force themselves to not be staggered, as well as, you know, actually trying to kill on the kill. Objective does go down. Benki and Brooklyn T guy look like they're going to be the worst staggers here, which should be okay because they are at Go Mercy. We'll see.
Engaging thrusters.
Oh, Brooklyn T guy just make the swap onto Kitty Call. Trash Boat looking to charge the punch again, doesn't get the charge, unfortunately. Nanobeast comes out into Trash Boat and looks like they want to dive straight into the enemy team. Not finding any kills though, and despite the Nano Doom running into their team, Spongejago is going to be able to find a few kills. Benki using the duplicate, Nano, or just Dragon Blade. Trash Boat opting to jump off the map instead of fighting, and that's going to be a fight win for Spongejago. A little bit of an unnecessary Cassidy ultimate at the end there, and that's going to put them down a little bit more than they would have been in Ultimate Economy. Just looking at how much Plummers has, a little intimidating. So we'll see what they do, especially with the orbital ray. That's going to be a big player for them. Huge anti though from Lunar Season. Not able to make use of it, but oh, Copy does find the kill into Sacrifice. J-Sparks with the Riptire trying to find value off of that. Finds Brooklyn T guy. That's going to be one support down. Spongejago, and Nanobeast goes onto the Cassidy. Copy was really low health. I wonder if that was maybe a misclick. Copy does not get the squish onto the Doomfist, unfortunately, and yeah, it's going to be basically a fight win for Plumbers. As much as you can win a fight like that. Nice Sacrifice, Dragon Blade into Death combo, looking awesome. S29K with the Orbital Ray, and I think the Orbital Ray is going to kind of seal the deal out here. I don't think there's much. Yeah. There's not much Spongejago can do against that. Wish I could see stats. That's okay. Sacrifice, early pick onto Brooklyn T guy, and Iris going down as well. That's gonna be. Oh, they were. Yeah, they were not in the best positions, unfortunately. Yeah, that means Spongejago is gonna have to give up all of this payload progress. Not good for them. Alright, J-Sparks with another Riptire. Does find Brooklyn T guy again. That's unfortunate straight out of spawn. Lunar Season uses Nano to try to make up for it, and that is going to be copied into the backline to try to get some kills here and burn things around. Does find two. Nano Doomfist does come out and gets Lunar Season straight off the bat. On a trade perchance? Yeah, Wrecking goes down as well, and that's going to be very scrappy. Poppy over here chasing the soldier out. Doesn't feel the need to chase the kill. Just needed to get that space, and I think Trash Boat does get out alive with some Doomfist movement abilities, but just barely. Visor comes out from Soldier, but Copy with a lot of pressure is able to quickly burst that down. And it's going to be Spongejago forcing the Plumbers to back out a little bit. I think. Never mind. Iris goes down. Trashboat did not care. He is in there either way. Does get slept there. Copy trying to mitigate some of this damage. Orbital Ray comes out from S2K9K. Copy's going to be using a bit of an aggressive Juno Bomb. Does get a kill into J-Sparks in Baby Diva form, and that might be enough. I think the zone there from the Diva Bomb was enough to kind of separate Trashboat as well from the rest of the team, and maybe, I don't know, actually, that might have happened later. I feel like the Diva Bomb was a good zoning tool there. Not even as a joke. Alright, 1 minute remaining on the clock. Oh, Trashboat just explodes there. Gets the pick onto Iris, but great focus from Spongejago being able to follow up like that. And with that, yeah, it's going to be a lot of time lost for the Plumbers, I think. Spongejago might have a real advantage getting this, a real opportunity to kind of force overtime here. Not kind of, like as what they would do. 30 seconds remain though, as long as they can hold out for then. Trashboat does go in with the nano boost, trying to get value. Does get Benki picked off, uses Meteor Strike to escape and potentially get this kill into Iris. They do end up getting it. Going onto the Kiriko, they get that kill as well, and that's going to be both supports and other players. And Copy is just getting bullied at this point. They can't even turn around to touch the payload. 10 seconds. Can they live until overtime? It looks like they might be able to, I think. Yeah, and they're... Oh, okay, well they are. They're not going to be able to get the bomb up in time, which is a little bit unfortunate for them, but they are going to be able to get overtime. And that means the Plumbers are going to cap with overtime. So I think that, yeah, that kind of just turned into a survival game at the end for Copy. And very similarly to the last map, the Plumbers are going to take the point 3-0 in overtime. Yeah, Spongejago looking a little bit rough at the beginning there, not quite knowing what to do, but they definitely ended up pulling it back at the end there, and a very nice hold there. These speakers look so goofy. Yeah. Okay, anyways. That is a lot of speakers. Oh my god. Okay, whatever. Anyways, Trashboat looks like they're going to be on the, oh, never mind, I lied. No monkey. Both teams on the Doomfist. Copy opting for it as well here. And Brooklyn T-Guy on the Mercy with Benki on the Echo, going for a little bit of a flyer strategy.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Could pay off for them against the Junkrat Torb. Definitely not out of the question. J-Spark's almost slowing down early here. Manages to stay alive. Benki with an opening pick onto the Juno. This can be a good high value pick. And they don't have the Mercy to res, so. Alright, Copy going to look in, or look to make a move in on the Torb here. The Torb does escape, but Copy gets charge punch out of that. Yeah, and unfortunately for Spongejago by now, all of Plummers is going to be back and ready to fight. not able to make use of that pick they got, and they have a pick now of their own. Brooklyn T-Guy does get the res onto Benki, doesn't go down as a trade. Finds the stickies onto Lunar Season, but they're able to live through it. The copy going in a little bit too deep though, and ends up getting picked off. Trashboat looking in a bit of a tricky situation here, looking very low HP, but does manage to get out alive. Finds a very nice air punch onto Benki. And Sacrifice steps out in front of Trashboat for 1 second and immediately gets slept. Benki with another opening pick with those stickies. I think the Echo is really good at that kind of long range poke. Ooh, Junkrat. Riptire goes down again from Benki. Resurrect comes out into Iris. That means that all of Spongejago's opponents are here, minus Copy, who just went down. They do have to copy Doomfist to make up for it. That not copy Doomfist, but like the Doomfist copy, like, you know. Anyways, still miss something. Echo. Trashboat though, cleaning up the lobby and pulling things back around, it looks like. Although, can they find this kill? They cannot. They're going to be taken out. They couldn't find that punch onto Benki, and due to that and Copy coming back, it looks like they're going to take the loss. Their beautiful stickies from Benki into that little room there. Finding that final pick, and it looks like this. Okay, this has been super back and forth, but I think I feel confident saying this is finally going to swing in favor of Spongejago. Ultimate's looking similar for both teams. Poppy is going to make a move in on the Junkrat. Does have to use Meteor Strike to get out. Just uses the punch to kind of escape here. With the punch in, does make enough space to kill Brooklyn T-Guy. Sacrifice. Looks like they might have just been poking from the background, or from the back, and was enough to get the kill. Iris going down as well, and that's going to be Spongejago forced to back out here. Alright, Bob do something coming out from Iris. Copy coming out from Benki, and that's going to be... Let's use... Benki Doomfist is able to find value. A good couple of ultimates, and gets Meteor Strike. Beautiful punch onto Benki. Ooh. Perchance a questionable nano usage from Lunar Season. In case you didn't know, if you nano Echo's Copy and Copy goes away either through dying or through just, you know, expiring, the nano gets lost. And nanoing at the end of the Echo Copy like that was a little bit unfortunate, because now Spongejago doesn't have nano going into the next fight, which can make the difference. Although Iris looking to make their own difference with that early pick onto Raccoon. Ooh, and some beautiful plays from Benki picking off Trashboat there. The stickies. Oh yeah, nice. Oh, beautiful. Stickies onto Doomfist just as the block was about to expire. I did not see a trap. Okay, I'm guessing Copy just got... Oh yeah. The random Junkrat traps. Absolute classic. Becky looking for some more poke here though. Sacrifices onto the Cassidy to probably deal with the Flyers a little bit. You know, a little bit better than the Torbu not doing that. Big punch from Benki unfortunately falls into the lower ground and doesn't get it. J-Sparks with the tire onto Copy, which you assume didn't have block. Oh, Benki misses that last. Oh, that would have been a big punch, but unfortunately didn't connect. J-Spark's getting super low there, but able to kind of escape, and that's going to be the Plumbers forcing out this push attempt from Spongejago. And Nenebus comes out into Trash Boat. They're going to jump in with that and try to get a kill, which they do. Lunar Season, although Asuki, Nike, Sacrifice, and Raccoon do go down from the Plumber side, which means that's all supports down from their team. Mercy stays alive enough to res Iris, which is going to be empty back. Okay, I don't know. This is way too scrappy for me to follow. Bob Do Something comes out, going way to the back there. Oh my god. I'm assuming they just try to burst this down. Yeah, bubbled off by Trash Bow. I don't think they meant to send it back that far. Alright, Monkey Copy comes out from Benki, and that's going to find a maybe kill into J-Sparks? No, not quite. Almost though. It does find enough to use the Primal Rage, which gives them a full 1,000 health. Unfortunately, the rest of their team is falling down around them. And they're going to be the last Bastion here, trying to push this payload. Not able to do it, and with a Rip Tire from J-Sparks getting Copy, that's going to be the end of this round. Yeah, okay. Well, a little bit of trickles, but all things considered, that is going to go to the Plumbers. GG. So that's going to be this set of matches done. Plumbers takes the series 3-0 for the victory. Pretty close games though. 3-0 is a little bit misleading here, as it often is. Yeah. Oh, this was so good. And then boom. But yeah, okay. So this is now what things look like. Plumbers are going to take the series, and in the bracket, I can also update them as having won 3-0, which means that they are going to be in the next matchup. Let's see if this worked. Yes, beautiful. No, not beautiful. That's completely my fault though. There we go. That's better. Yeah. So this is what the bracket looks like. Only the top half is to be decided now because the Plumbers have taken control of the bottom half and they've taken that home. Yeah. So later tonight we will have the semifinals. It's going to be Class 1A versus the Phantom Shards. I will not be streaming that, but we will probably be streaming it in some capacity, so make sure you show up for that. Maybe. We'll send an announcement out, probably, if that's true. Stay tuned. And tomorrow is this finals. That's at 4 p.m. Make sure you show up in person for that because it's in person. There'll be in-person casting. There'll be in-person free food that I will be eating a lot of because I will be hungry. So come for that. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you guys all for watching if you are still here. And goodbye.